What's one of the easiest beer styles to make? I could make an argument for hard ginger beer, at least if my experience this week is anything to go by. And yet, that's right, this week I went from no beer to hard ginger beer on tap in about 5 days. So I'm going to show you step by step the process how to make it. And I'm going to give the finished product to my buddy Norm and get his expert opinion. This episode is sponsored by Kegland. More on them in a bit. Now, a hard ginger beer needs what? It needs alcohol. And there are many ways you can introduce alcohol. I mean, you can buy all sorts of pre-made kits. I'm going to make my own alcohol. Of course, I'm going to do that. I do have some experience with it. And it's actually a super easy brew day if you have beer brewing equipment around. So to start with, I have about 5 gallons of water. Now this is reverse osmosis water run through my reverse osmosis system, heated to 180 Fahrenheit or 82 Celsius. Now the next thing I'm going to add in is corn sugar. So I have my corn sugar packet here. An insane amount of sugar. So this is actually going to provide pretty much all of the fuel to create that alcohol. Now on this here, you can actually see it says that 1 pound of this adds up to about 1% of alcohol in a 5-gallon batch. So 5 pounds here will give me, in my 5-gallon batch, about 5% ABV, which is just perfect for what I'm looking for here. Now, unlike brewing, where we're actually trying to perform some conversion from the malt enzymes, with this we just need to dissolve the sugar. So I don't need to go to a boil. 180 is fine, and just 10 minutes is sufficient. Then we need to make this a friendly environment for the yeast. Normally when I add beer yeast, well, there's plenty for that yeast to chew on, all of those long and short chain sugars from the mash, and there's also all sorts of other nutrients as well. Just putting yeast into some sugary water is a pretty harsh environment, so it's best to use some kind of yeast nutrient, and that's what I have with this packet here. This is yeast nutrient, and it's specifically designed for hard seltzers. Now on the back of this packet, it tells you exactly what you need to do. You can see it says to add the sugar at 180 Fahrenheit, 82 Celsius. Yeah, done that. And then at flame out, this is when the yeast nutrient goes in. So we just put this at the very end, at the end of those 10 minutes. And this will give the yeast all the nutrients it needs for a healthy fermentation. I'm chilling this down with my counterflow chiller to around sort of 80 or 90 Fahrenheit, and then transferring it into my fermenter. Then it's time for the yeast. Now I'm using this yeast. This is dried Lutra yeast, so it's a Kvike yeast strain. Take a look at the stats on this. Basically, it works at temperatures up to 95 Fahrenheit or 35 Celsius. And in fact, the warmer it's operating at, the faster it goes. And I should be able to blow through all of that sugar and create the alcohol in like 3 or 4 days max using this. So I'm sprinkling this in on the top, and now I'm going to leave this for 3 or 4 days for the fermentation to happen, for the alcohol to be generated. Then we'll be ready to make this a ginger beer. Now, this episode is sponsored by Kegland, and rather than doing an ad read, I just want to say, firstly, thank you, Kegland, for sending all of the ingredients for this. Kegland tell me, in fact, that this is one of their more popular recipe kits, and they have a whole bunch of recipe kits online for brewing hard ginger beer, hard ginger ale, and so forth. So go check that out. But it's no secret, I'm a big fan of everything Kegland has to offer. It basically kind of runs my brewery here. So if you want to see more about the products that they do have to offer, check them out at kegland.com.au. All right, fermentation did only take a couple of days. Let's check in, see how it's doing. So 5 days later, and this keg contains my hard seltzer. I think it whipped through the sugars here, that yeast. It didn't take any time at all. Yesterday I cold crashed, the idea being that the particulate is going to kind of drop to the bottom of my fermenter and not too much of it's going to end up in this keg. And then I've taken a gravity reading, and boy, yeah, all sugars were consumed. I've actually have a gravity of 0.999 was my final gravity reading. So we're around 5.1%, which is exactly what I was looking for. Let's take a quick sample from this. So you can see it is already carbonated pretty well. So I think it's ready for actually turning this alcoholic seltzer into alcoholic ginger beer. Tastes like nothing right now. Yeah, without any flavor, seltzer water kind of sucks. Okay, so let's make this into ginger beer. Now there's 3 more ingredients we need to add, and the first is actually the ginger beer shots themselves. So Kegland have sent me a bunch of these. These are called Impressence flavor shots, and on the back it actually has a little bit of information about the recommended dosage for this. And the recipes I've seen online recommend for what is essentially kind of a 5-gallon or 19-litre batch to use 4 of these. So let's get these in. Now I have to say it's pretty weird taking the lid off a keg and just kind of letting air in like this. With beer, you really don't want to do that for too long because you're oxidizing the beer. I'm not sure what the deal is with oxidizing seltzer water, but I suspect it's not quite as important. So yeah, it just feels uncomfortable. And in fact, I did a pressure transfer into this keg so that no oxygen would get in, just out of habit. And now the air's getting in. Okay, let's add these shots in. 4 of these. Just opening the packet, my goodness, it smells like ginger. Let's pour one of these into a glass so you can see what that looks like. Yeah, that smells like ginger, all right. Okay, in it goes. Now, of course, the nice thing about adding these shots this way is you can totally do this to taste. So I'm adding 4 in, but yeah, if that's too strong or too weak a ginger flavor, you could just get more of these and add them in to taste. And of course, it's always better to go under first because we can always add some more in. You can't ever take it out. I'm also going to back sweeten this, but just before I do, there are probably still yeast particulate in here despite the cold crash. So it's quite important that if I'm going to introduce any more sugar, this corn sugar here, that I make sure that that yeast is not going to start re-fermenting it, because that will do 2 things. It will build up more pressure in the keg than we want. And more importantly than that, if the yeast do all the sugar, then it's not going to be sweet for us. So that is why I'm going to add in 2 packets of Firm Stop. And this will basically make sure that the yeast do not restart fermentation when we don't want them to. Now, with regards to sweetness, how much sugar you want to add in, well, the kits do actually give you some guidance here. So they recommend somewhere between 20 and 120 grams of sugar per litre. So if we go on the low end of that and say this is about 19 litres, so at a minimum we're going to want to add about 380 grams of sugar, and we can go up, much more than that. I prefer my drinks in general not to be all that sweet, so I'm not going to go crazy. I'm just going to go convenient instead. So I have some corn sugar that's been sat around the brewery for a long time here, and there is about half a kilo or 500 grams of sugar in here. It seems like a huge amount of sugar to put into here, but ginger beer is supposed to be sweet, and this is still on the low end, so this is what I'm going to add. I'm going to give this a stir just to make sure everything is incorporated. Again, so weird to do this on the cold side as a beer guy. Back on with the lid, and now I'm going to bring this up to 20 psi, keep it cold in my kegerator for about another 24 hours, and I'll be ready to taste. So Norm, my first ever ginger beer.
This reminds me of a hard seltzer.
Right, yeah. And this is a hard seltzer.
Oh, okay.
With ginger extract added in.
Oh, all right.
And sugar. I can already smell ginger.
You absolutely can. Sure, 100%. Cheers. Oh, you could just drink the shit out of that.
Yeah. Hard to know that's alcoholic, isn't it?
Oh, there's no hint of alcohol in there. I'm guessing this is what, 4.5%, 5 at the most?
You are good. It's 5%.
Yeah. Yeah, this is one of those that people who enjoy seltzers, if that's their thing, this is one of those that could get you in trouble.
Yeah.
Out around, at a cookout or at the beach, because you could just be like knocking these things back, and that would sneak up on you after a while.
I'm going to call this a success.
I would too. And it's technically classified a beer.
Ginger. I don't think it's in the BJCP guidelines.
I know you're calling it a ginger beer. I would call it a hard ginger ale.
Yeah. I'm not sure quite what the difference is. There is nothing in it that's beery.
And I would air quote the ale.
Yeah. There is no malt. There are no hops. All of the things that are very important in beer. There is none of that. It's seltzer water with flavoring.
Right.
And sugar.
And so there's no grains in this.
No grains. Zero grain.
It's unlike anything that you've ever invited me to taste before, but I'm glad you did.
And you've tried some stuff.
I've tried some stuff.
All right. Cheers, Noam.
Cheers.